Hi everybody and welcome back to our appointment with the overview on markets. Let's have a look together at what happened during the week. So let's take a look at our market scanner. This week there isn't actually much to report. Generally speaking, we can say that all markets show a pause in the uptrend, which was recovering from the lows of March. Equity markets are basically flat this week. The only sector that has moved is the energy sector, which has had negative returns during the current week. However, the previous week we saw good returns for this sector, excluding natural gas, which continues in its bearish trend. All the other markets are moving more or less sideways. Here we can see the orange juice, which increased by 6%, but even in this case we can see a pause in the trend. Cocoa future increased by 5%. On the other hand, a sector which is showing poor performances is grains. All that futures are showing bearish or lateral trend. As for Bitcoin, despite halving, there have been no significant movements over the past 2 months. Talking instead of historical volatility, we can see how the current values are at the top of the ranking when compared to long-term volatility. So this means that we still see very large daily ranges compared to the long-term historical average. But on a shorter time frame, we generally see a volatility that is falling, except for some futures, such as the Nasdaq. We can see a small increase in the last month. The same goes for the mini S&P 500 future, and also for some bond futures like the Bund future. Talking instead of implied volatility and its evolution over time, we see here the SPX volatility indexes. We can see a structure not yet well defined, quite unusual actually. All indexes show fairly close values except long-term volatility, which is much lower than the others, and this, as you know, is quite unusual. If we analyze the term structure of volatility futures, we see more or less the same thing. The first 3 expiries are on the same level, then, due to the American elections, the future of October has a higher value, and finally we can see long-term volatility at a much lower level. After seeing some key statistics on financial markets and given the fact that automated traders also use this data to build their trading strategies, as usual, we'll now take a look at our portfolio of trading strategies to see how systems have reacted to current market conditions. Okay, let's take a look at some trades made during the week, and let's start from an historical system, the Flipper 2. I've been using it for several years. The main version is in fact over 8 years old. This system belongs to the breakout volatility family and takes a position in favor of the trend when a volatility explosion occurs. It is an intraday trading system and works on a 15 minutes time frame. It opens both long and short positions, and I use it on the Bund future. This one is the overall equity line, but as you can see, it works much better on the long side. And this is the reason why I use an additional version of the system that works only long. This ugly gap that can be seen in the equity line corresponds to the Brexit, so the system did not trade. We know that a system cannot predict the outcome of a referendum. For this reason, it is correct, in my opinion, to disable the trading system in such occurrences. And trade results are positive for this week, around $1,000. I also want to show you the same system applied to another underlying, the Bitcoin future, which is suitable for the system of the volatility breakout family. This is the equity line of the system. Unfortunately, I do not have a very long historical series on this server, and we can see that in the last week it has made positive trades. As for Bitcoin, the system works only long due to the high margins required to open short positions. Let's see what else went well this week. Here we have the big range trading system. This is a daily system that works with mean reverting logics on the E-mini S&P 500 future. This is the long-term equity line. The system has been out of sample for 2 years. And in this case too, the long equity line is much better than the short one. So let's see the trade of the week. The system has bought 4 E-mini S&P 500 futures, closed at the end of the day for a total profit of $8,850. Clearly this is a much more aggressive system and it uses more contracts than the previous one. Metrics are good, it has a good profit factor, a large enough average trade, and a good ratio between net profit and drawdown. Obviously, trading systems also make losing trades, and here we have an example of 2 losing trades on coffee future. This is an intraday trading system which works on a 15 minutes time frame, and it opens positions when the swing points are broken. These are the 2 trades of the week for a total loss of around $5,000. I want to show you finally another trading system that works on bonds, in this case on the Treasury note future, and unlike the system on the Bund, this works on mean reverting logic. The main feature of this system is the very high percentage of profitable trades that it's able to realize. We are talking about 90% of profitable trades. This one is the long-term equity line, which is very regular. This week the system made money, but not a lot actually. We are talking about $875. As you can see, the profit target of this system is very tight, so it is quite rare to see particularly large winning trades, but on the other hand it has a high percentage of profitable trades. However, we can see that it has a fair profit regularity also on annual basis.
Hello everyone, from Andrea Unger. Here we can see I have opened a chart on high-grade copper future, and I will show you a typical bias for who of you are going to study bias for the first time. So first of all, here we can see the average movement for each hourly bar of the day of the trading session. And as you can see here, there are some consecutive negative and positive bars. And if we change the visualization method here, we can see also the cumulative average curve on each section. And here you can see that from the beginning of the session, the prices start to rise on average, of course, and then it falls for some hours, so from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. and finally until the end of the trading session the price starts going up again. So what we can do, we can try to buy at 8 a.m. and close at 1 a.m. of the next session, so here, and then to go short from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. I have already coded this kind of bias into a sort of basic strategy, and this is the equity of the bias behavior. And as you can see, there is this consistent edge on this market, and you can try to exploit this bias and to create your own strategy. Of course, the bias initially doesn't have a significantly high average trade, so it's not tradable as it is, and you should try to find some filter to improve the quality of each trade.
Well, let's look at the rollover calendar for the next week. We have 4 futures: platinum, sugar, heating oil and gasoline. As for the energy sector, the largest volumes are already on the August expiry, and the same is true for sugar and platinum, which already have the greatest open interest in October. Well guys, if you want to speak with a member of our team to analyze your situation and get some insight to help you become an independent, systematic trader, click on the link below and you will be able to book a free 45-minute call with one of our tutors. We will talk about your current situation, what you are doing in trading and what you would like to do instead. And we will try to understand together if we can help you achieve your trading goals. And finally, if you like this video, press like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. See you next week with another episode of The Trading Show.